I was kind of surprised to read this, that you are now, the character you play was J. Peterman, which was connected to the catalog company J. Peterman.
TheRealJPeterman.com. Yeah.
And you now, and have for some time, own a percentage of it, don't you?
I do. I do. It was a very odd story. John Peterman, the owner of the J. Peterman Company, arrived at work one morning, and his employees said, "You were on Seinfeld last night." And he said, "No, I was on a plane last night." And they said, "No, you were one of the characters on Seinfeld last night." And he went, "What?" Well, immediately if you are slightly litigious, your ears go up, and it's the first call is to your lawyers. But he thought about it, and he ended up talking to the people at Seinfeld and just said, "Well, we're going to do this once just because we thought it was an unusual character. The catalog is so unusual. It is the most unusual catalog you'll ever read, jpeterman.com, if you want to find something like that." The show what we parodied on Seinfeld, it's about it's a Hemingway novel, a bit of copy written about climbing K2 in your Oxford button-down. And it's about one-of-a-kind romantic wear, and it's really a fascinating piece of literature and capitalism. It's just beautiful merchandise, and I just found it. So anyway, long story short, he and I, because of over the years of being on Seinfeld, he and I became joined at the wrist and ankles, and we became very good friends. Well, about a year and a half after Seinfeld ended, he was about to IPO the company, and everything went belly up on him, and that's the way things happen in that world. And he went down in about 2 weeks. He didn't even see it coming. So he called me back about a year later and said, "I've got the intellectual property back. Would you like to write me a really, really large check, and we'll put the company back together again under our parallel strengths?" So I wrote a really, really large check, and since 2000, I have been part owner of the J. Peterman Catalogue, and it still has been the greatest act of identity theft ever, and I'm not giving it back. And we will walk down, I'm on the board, and he and I will walk down Madison Avenue on our way to lunch and a bottle of wine. We always have to have our wine. And we'll end up going to this Italian restaurant. We'll be walking down Madison, and sure enough, some cop car will roll down a window and scream, "Hey, Peterman!" And they're not talking to him. They're talking to me. Now, isn't that bizarre?
It is bizarre.
It is what Marshall McLuhan used to say: the message and the medium will eventually become indistinguishable. And I am the greatest example of that, because I am Peterman, he is not. And all he did was just run a successful clothing catalog company, and for the rest of his life, he will have lost his identity. It's amazing when you think about it.
In exchange for...
Yeah. Well, a success, keeping the company going,
Yeah.
I suppose, the perpetuity of the company. Yeah.